Good evening, everyone. Hope my screen is visible. And today's topic is about the prepositions and the possessive adjectives. The topic is so. Before we start the prepositions regarding the places and the possessive adjectives, let me give a brief about the introduction about the prepositions first. In my next slide, I'll just show you. Just Yeah, we have definite articles in French language, which is very important. So we have a definite articles and we have a gender for that, masculine, feminine, and before vowel and the plural form. So masculine will be lu, and the feminine will be la, and the before vowel will be l apostrophe, and the plural will be les. This is very important. So based on this, we are going to learn the prepositions. In that prepositions, we are going to uh, do the contraction with the article a, so that we are going to frame the sentences to talk about the cities, to talk about the countries where we usually specify that in I am in Japan, I am in Canada. So for those things, so definite articles are very important because for each and everything we have a gender in the French language. X might be a thing, it might be a country, it might be some of this state. Few of the cities, few of the states we have a names, especially in United States like that. So, hope this is all very preliminary stage we learn in even beginner level, do, la, ella, apostrophe. So, hope this is clear with everyone. So, the next level which I wanted to tell is the third slide. This is the one like contraction we follow whenever there is a masculine gender. It might be anything, it might be an object or it might be anything, so we use it as a plus lu, we'll make it as au and we will use that particular sentence. If the masculine is plural form, then the particular noun, and then we make it as a plus le, then it will become as eux and we'll be using that as in the sentences. So the next one, when it comes to like we use when it coming from do form, do plus lu, again it is same similarities that we follow here. Do plus lu will be do and do plus le will be they. This applies only to the masculine things. And to brief you in the another slide, uh, it is a little bit clear. So you can see that masculine singular, feminine singular, and masculine and feminine plural. So masculine singular, as I told, just shown in the previous slide, AU, that is O, we pronounce as, or L apostrophe, if it is a particular noun, if it is starting from. And the feminine singular, ala and a, L apostrophe, if it is a feminine noun and starting with oval. So at the time it will be L apostrophe, and AUX is very common for the plural form. And the masculine singular, again, do and do L apostrophe, and feminine singular, do la and do L apostrophe and they. This is about the contractions that we use it. And I'll just go with some one or two examples. Yes. The prepositions are. So this was already showed in the earlier slide, but I'm giving an example here. Plus lu, au, we pronounce as o. So je suis au travail. It means that I am in the work. Je parle au concierge. I am speaking to the caretaker. Concierge is nothing but a person, caretaker. So je suis au travail. I am in the work. So like this, any noun, if you are using, if it is a masculine, we will make frame a sentence like a plus you. In case if this was a feminine gender, in that case it would have been like je suis à la. For example, France. I am in the France. If I want to say like we have a two ways of that. Je suis à la France, we can say the one thing. Je suis à l'école also we can tell. This was the, so hope this is clear. Our place so because this is very familiar in French at A1 level. So it's very easy topic, this particular one. And now I'm going to tell you about the cities because we are going to use apart from in India, the rest other like France, that Spain, German, we have genders for them. For every noun, there is a gender, masculine, feminine, like that. So for even for the state, even for the cities, few of the cities, especially there is an exception, but for the states as well as for the countries, we have a gender. So as per the gender, we are going to use the speaking part. I'll just explain you, brief you in the next one. Yes. For the cities, few of the cities, they are not being named as masculine or feminine. That is the one that I wanted to highlight here. And for the countries, anyhow, that for the countries, there is a masculine, feminine in French language. So we know that. So we will just go with as per the procedure. And en is also same. It's for the feminine gender that I'll come up. Then do and all, we are familiar with the articles do. It's a preposition, and do plus definite article. That I'll come. Definite article is nothing but lu, la, whichever based on the masculine, feminine genders of the plural form of the noun. This is about. So let me explain you on this first. For any cities. First I'll go with the cities. For example, I am in particular city. If you want to tell, and that particular city, you just go with a preposition. You see, right? There's an a. There is a. There's a small accent on that. We pronounce that as a. So, for example, if you want to say something, just we are Georgia, just we are Paris, we pronounce as Paris, and just we are New York, just we are California. So, for those things, we just say as our prepositions because there is no genders for that. But when we use the that is the one. And now I want to tell about the do with using of do. How do I say for the cities? For example, I am coming from Paris. So je viens de Paris. Viens de Paris because there is no gender for that. Je viens de again the New York. It might be another city. Je viens de Madrid. Madrid there is no gender. For the Spain we have it. Spain is a country and Madrid is a city and like that. And Ju Vihadu, we can say some other place as well. It might be a Mysore, Bangalore. It's all about city. So we don't have any gender for that. We just use Ju Vihadu. That's it. We'll not be framing any like do plus lu or anything like that. It's simple. But when it comes to vowel, same like do plus when we are telling there, just with the you'll just make a D apostrophe and we are going to speak about that particular country, city name. Sorry, country name. If there is any city exists, then we use the D apostrophe. This has not been given because we rarely come across those kind of particular cities. So this is about the cities. I think this picture will really help you to understand in a better way. AU, AUX, and EN, do and do. And the next one, when we come to countries, we have to follow that particular procedure, which where we can see AU and AUX. So will be following that particular procedure. So, for example, I am in Japan. Japan is a masculine one. So, je suis au Japon. AU I will use. And again, we have like Lu Mexic. Yes, Mexico. We call it as Mexic, and it's a masculine gender. I want to say I am in the Mexic. I am at Mexic. So, je suis au Mexic. We usually use. And Canada, we pronounce as Lu Canada. So that is also one of the thing that is masculine gender. We'll just go with just be o uh, Lukanad. Just be o Kanad. So like these things we'll be using. So I'll just brief you which are the countries like just for a reference. Like Portugal is a masculine. We call it as Lu Portugal, and Brazil, Lu Brazil, and Lu Denmark. That is one of the thing. The Denmark, that is nothing but Denmark. We call that as Lu Denmark. That is also one of the thing masculine gender. So this is all about. And when it comes to feminine things, I'll come to feminine things, or then I'll come back to again AUX. Feminine things, because for example, the main country, the French language, the France, it's a feminine gender, La France, and the Switzerland, La Suisse, and even the Italy, it starts from the vowel, but even though it's a feminine one, so l'Italie, and the we have La Belgique. Belgique is nothing but the La Belgium, Belgium, la Belgique. We call it as, and the China, we call them as la Chine, and Russia, la Russie, Poland, la Pologne. So these are the countries which starts with the feminine gender. So in that case, we just keep it as do la. There is no change with that. That's why to avoid the confusions, I haven't posted here uh, that do plus la and all. To make it simple, only do plus lu. These kind of things are has been posted here. So they will just keep it as je viens de la France. Means I am coming from the France. I'm keeping do plus la like that. But we cannot literally translate sometimes. If you translate literally, the meaning will go wrong. This is about that. And now I'll come back to the AUX. What you see. We pronounce this pronunciation is same. O. Same like aujourd'hui, or we pronounce same like AUX. When do we use this AUX? When the countries are plural. When the countries are plural. For example, United States, Netherlands, United States. When it comes, we will be using the feminine gender. So that is the one. And for the United States, we call them as les États-Unis, les États-Unis. But altogether, when we are pronouncing that United States as les États-Unis, this is how the familiarly we pronounce it. Les États-Unis, simple. So that is a plural form. So, and it's a masculine gender. So what do? We will make it a plus les will become ho, aux États-Unis. Je suis aux États-Unis. I am at the United States. Hope this is clear. I am at the United States. This is how I do the, sorry, we follow the procedure to make it, to talk about the plural form. And the next one. Cities we did. Countries. And do plus look. For the masculine things, for as I said just now, I gave you a few of the examples which are missing. So we'll use the same plus AU. Like that, we follow the same procedure for the do as well. For example, I am coming from Mexico. If I want to say, je viens du Mexique, I will just say, means do plus le. Just a minute. Yeah, I think this particular screen will be do plus flu. That's why you see that masculine singular as du. So for example, as I said, like I am coming from the Mexico. We use like je viens du Mexico. I am coming from the Mexico. That is the one example. And another example will be any of the countries which starts with masculine. I just gave Portugal. Yes. I want to say that I am coming from Portugal. So we usually say coming from. Do means from about to. From about is especially there has two meanings. So what happens is when I'm addressing that particular prepositions with I am coming, the meaning will be I am coming from. So we'll make it as with the gender, we'll just omit the contraction and do plus lu due. This is how we frame the particular sentences when we're talking with the countries and using of prepositions in places, cities, countries. This is our today's topic. So I'm just done with the particular countries with our AU and DU. Now let's come to the feminine gender. When we talking about feminine gender, there are two ways that you can tell it as ala, and another which is usually when we are talking with the countries, we can say that just we are. Wait, I'm just show you in the next slide. It is the yes. In this say, you see, right? Jabit or Rusi. We use that particular UN because Russia is a feminine one. La Rusi, you can see that. So we will be using this particular EN during when we are talking about the country. Like I am in Russia. I am in Iran. So when you want to say, you can use this EN for the feminine countries. Which are feminine countries, which I said. So you want to use that particular preposition, you can to make it as en. In case, just by just giving an example, you have already know the other prepositions. We know dans, we pronounce as the. If we use that, that will be go as wrong. Even though meaning might be correct, I am in France, but the one which we were supposed to use, we were not using. So it will go as wrong. In case writing in international exams, anything, they will mark it as error. So that is the one which to be observed here. So for the feminine gender of countries, and if you're talking that we are living in that particular one, then we'll be using as en and we pronounce as en, Rusi, just j'habite or Rusi, like that. And the next one, in case, if you are talking about the same feminine gender, but you are coming from the feminine one, there we just keep it as the, will not do any changes with that. Do only will remain the same. And one more thing, just go back to this, article. Yeah, here you see do plus L of apostrophe. So if any countries, if it is starting with vowel, in that case, we will keep it as do D apostrophe. That's it. We will not be doing any changes with that. Uh, yeah, vowel is done. And the plural form, as I said, told you already that for the United States and for the Netherlands or any plural form which has the country names, for that we'll be using that AUX and DEX. And now we use the same contractions for the places. So places, where do we use? For example, if we are not sure, if we are sure about that particular gender of that particular place, then we will just follow our place like that. If you are not sure about that particular places, in that case, we'll be using ala and dula. I'm coming from, if you want to say some particular place name and there is no exact one, then we'll be just going with ala or dula. Simple. And the next one, AU, cities, countries. Yes, I want to highlight one here. There are few states in America, which is as some of the, so we have to follow some of the prepositions over there. There is a only exception for that for the United States. There are some of the states which starts with feminine. We will be using en only as an exceptional basis. If you are using that particular feminine, then we will be using the do, as I told earlier. Only for the American states, I'm just highlighting for this. And islands, it's same are, and we'll be using do, the normal one. And prepositions like pay, as I told you, you can have a glance on this particular screen, like pay the country. Pay is nothing but femina, country, feminine country, plus en. When do we use? For the feminine gender, Jabit or Rusi, and pay vowel, again en, because it is liran. Here you have an example, L of apostrophe. It is starting with before vowel, and it's a feminine one. And pay mascula, nothing but the kind of masculine country, Lokana, Jabito Kana. So I'm living in the Canada. And play plural plus AUX. We pronounce as O. Country plural plus O. So le aux États-Unis. J'habite aux États-Unis. Like this we will be pronouncing. And the next one. I'll just go with this few of the examples that I wanted to show you. If the country is masculine, we usually use AU. I hope this will be very clear. So what I do is je suis, sorry, ils sont les Japo. Japo is a what gender? I just told you it's a masculine gender. So I want to say they were born. Actually, this is in the past tense. So just if there is, if anyone, if from beginner level, don't get confused, is in past tense. So the particular sentence is they were born in the Japan, they want to tell. So Lu Japan actually. So what do I do? A plus Lu will be AU. I'll just say je suis au Japon. So ils sont nés au Japon. They were born in Japan. Again, we have another sentence. Most of the sentences in past tense. And ella étudie Denmark. She has studied it in the Denmark, she want to tell. And Denmark is nothing but Denmark. So we have it as le Denmark. So what do? We just follow that particular contractions. We'll make it as a Denmark. Ella étudie au Denmark. This is the one. And next one. Ils se sont rencontrés. Just a minute. Oh, yes. Ils se sont rencontrés means they met in Canada. It's in past tense here. So Canada, again, it's a masculine. So what we will be doing, we'll be following the particular procedure, that is a plus loop, or it will become O. Just we O Canada. It's simple. So they met in Canada. The next one. Il a de la famille. He has got relatives in Maroc. Il a de la famille au Maroc. Maroc. Maroc is nothing but it's Morocco. We have this gender. This is actually Lu. So again, we follow the same procedure. Plus Lu. So it will become O Maroc. Just be O Maroc. Also, you can tell I am at the Maroc. You can also tell that Iladula Fami O Maroc. He got relatives in Maroc, or he has the families in the Maroc. And the next one. J'ai missionnaire à vécu dash Texas. Texas. So missionary are live in Texas. So we'll just pick it as AU. Same procedure we follow. And another few examples I wanted to give you for the plural form. Like for example, Les Pays-Bas is nothing but Netherlands country. If you want to note it down, you can note it down. Or for your reference, I've just pinged in the chat. Netherlands means Les Pays-Bas. And anyhow, the United States, USA, we call it as les États-Unis. And United Emirates will be like O, Emira Arab, and Bermuda will be called as Bermuda. So these are the plural form of the countries that we have to be very much sure about this. So this is a simple topic where usually most of the people will get confused during the initial days. So I've just explained with some of the few examples in an easy way. It's very easy. You just have to note that down. When do we use are? When do we use au? And when do we use do, and they? It's a very simple topic. So just take 1 minute time, and then I'll continue with the another. Okay, so let me continue with another topic, the today's one, that is possessive. Possessive in French, I've just mentioned because these are all possessive adjectives. So when do we use this possessive adjective? In English, anyhow, we are familiar with that, like my book, my pen, your car, and his book, and our house, and your car, and their college, their school. So to use about all those things, we'll be using much familiar with the in English. But what happens in French language is, as we have already discussed and we have already introduced in during the initial classes in a pre-A1 classes, we have a gender for everything. So for based on that gender, we'll be using mo, ma, me. Usually we pronounce as my as mo, ma, me. Mo. We pronounce as mo. N is not pronounced here. And the next one is will be your. This is for the informal one. So whenever we use the informal, like maybe a friends and casual people, we are very, very close to them. So in that case, we'll be going with the informal way. That is ton, ta, te. Simple. Ton, ta, te. This is the one. And is or its is nothing but so, sa, se. Again here, we don't pronounce the N. So, sa, se. And our notre, notre, no. Yes is not pronounced. Notre, notre, no. And the your, votre, otru, o, and leur. That's it. This will be the pronunciation. Once you're familiar, you can read it fast like mo, ma, me, tontate, son, sa, se, notre, no, otru, o, leur. So these are the possessive adjectives of French. And the next one, if I want to say, for example, this is my mother. So we usually say, c'est ma mère. For your reference, I'm just pinging on the chat, or let me open my screen and I'll share you the other. I'm sharing the other screen. So just for your reference, this is for to you tell about the possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives. My screen is visible. Just to elaborate that particular one. Yeah. So for example, we just go through that particular table. Moma me, tontate, sonsase, notre, no, otro, and leur. So this is about that. But there are few things that first I'll give an example, then I'll just tell about the exceptions. For example, this is my mother. I want to say, I'll just make it as say ma mère. Simple. Because mère means mother. As it's a feminine gender, we'll be choosing the feminine gender of the possessive adjective. So the meaning will be ma. The particular word will be taking as ma, say ma mère. And the next one, I'll give another example. And okay, so let's me continue with the same. This is my mother and my father. I'll keep it in one sentence. So, c'est ma mère et mon père. There's an accent. Actually, it's not coming here for me. So, please excuse for this. Okay, this is so, c'est ma mère et mon père. This was the one. And for we have to tell, for example, the next one. My parents. For example, sorry. Yeah. My parents are coming, I want to say. My parents. So it's just a plural form, right? So we'll just go with the possessive adjectives of may, para. We'll just going with the venir verb. Venir means to come. So it's a irregular verb. So we are making as me para vien. Simple. I'm just keeping the sentences in a simple. So it's a irregular verb we just used venir. So from that venir verb, it's coming as vien. Me para vien. Simple. And the next one is grandmother is, we'll keep it, some other family members will keep it. Yeah, widow will keep it. So in this case, is or are, it might be. Now we are talking about is. So it will be like so, grand-mère is grandmother. This is simple, is or her grandmother, but we talking about is, so is grandmother a we pronounce as woo. So grandmère a woo. Simple. So we are using the possessive adjectives of S-O-N. And the next one, we want to say a brother is single or married. Want to say, okay, we'll keep it like a brother is single and sister is married. Our brother is single and sister is married. So which we use from the table, we can see we'll be going with notre, N-O-T-R-E, this one. So notre, it is same for masculine and feminine, only for the plural form it is changed. Here we are talking about our brother and a sister in a singular way we are telling. So it's not that difficult. So we'll be going with the normal masculine singular and the feminine singular. So notre faire, there's an accent is not coming. So notre faire est célibataire. Célibataire. Notre is célibataire and sister is married. There's an accent on CELI, but I'm unable to do that. CE, uh, unable to write the accent. Célibataire and sister. And the sister is married. So, may or and sister. I will go with a. Sister is notre, SOER, notre sœur, et mariée. Or IE, we will make it another E because it's a feminine gender. Is married. Because it's a one is, we are talking about the past tense, like she is married. So in that case, we'll be telling us notre sœur is mariée, but we'll be adding another E as it's a feminine gender. But we in A is, this is the one. And the next one, next another example. Your uncle is architect. Sorry, just a question. Keep it as, okay. Your career is architect. We'll just keep it like this. So how do we use autre, oncle, votre oncle est architect. Architect, yes. Votre uncle est architect. T-E-C-T-E, it will get end. So this is how we pronounce, sorry, this is how we frame the sentence to tell about your uncle is architect. Your house is near to Chinagar. We'll just keep a one other easy sentence. So we're just going with outro, meso, a côté de, or near to, close to, côté de, Jayanagar. This is the one. And there, we'll be using the one with they, right? Their friends going to, we'll keep it as Singapore. So how do we say LUR? The army. We are not sure about the gender about the friend, so we'll just keeping as AMIS. On, les amis on. It's a plural, which is coming from the ale verb. Je vais, tu es, like that. When we conjugated the third person plural, we are taking on Singapore. Simple. The next one. The next one with the there only. Their cousins or Americans. We'll keep it like, we'll keep it as Dutch, which we did Pays-Bas countries. So LEURS. Le COUS. Cousins sont DAIS Hollandais. Because leur cousin, we have taken the plural form LEURS, leur cousin sont Hollandais. Their cousins are Holland. Means nothing but their cousins are Dutch. These were the examples. And then, okay, just a minute. Okay, so this is about using of possessive adjectives based on the gender, masculine, feminine, and plural. So to avoid confusions, what you can do initially is, whenever you write mo, ma, me, on the top of that you can write it for lu for masculine, feminine will be la, and the plural will be ls, that is le. So if you note down like this, it will be very easy for you to understand. And pick the particular the right one and frame the sentence and also to speak. And one more thing, the note point I want to tell to highlight, when the noun starts with a vowel, we must use the masculine. We must use the masculine form of adjectives because we have to make the pronunciation smooth. We, for example, ma, ami. No, it's not a right one. I want to make these pronunciations in a smooth way. So what do I say? I have to use mon, ami. It might be masculine or it's a feminine. This is one of the exception in this that to be noted down. So we use that mon, ami. And then what we can find out in the examples, mon, arja, mon, arja, my money. We cannot go more arja. This is wrong. Arja means money. So this is the we use. In Yapadadaja, you might have heard in audio like that. There is no money with, like that. So those this is one of the exception for the possessive adjectives. When the noun starts with a vowel, we must use the masculine form of adjectives, that is mo. I'll reshare my the table once again. Yeah, here you can observe of masculine is visible. So these are the possessive adjectives. Like we'll be using with mo. So it applies to all ton, son, notre, votre, leur. It applies to all 6 lines, whichever according to the which is agreeing with the particular noun with the gender. So we'll be taking that. In case if it is starting with the vowel, we'll be using the masculine one. So this is one of the things that to be noted down. And the next one, just take 1 minute. I'll just go with the another one. Yes. For example, I just give an example over there. Again, I have few more examples. Like for example, that's your ticket, or this is your ticket. If you want to say, you will be highlighting otro. Just for reference, I'll make in yellow color. Say otro BA. That's your ticket. And LA Lurfi. She is their daughter. You can say LUR, which is lur. It means their. The meaning is. This is one of the thing. And so son no Shia. They are our dogs. CUX. We call it as they, as well as it has 3-4 meanings. Depends on the context. It will be explained as so you can keep it as they are our dogs. So son no Shia. They are our dogs. Atyu ton manto. Do you have your coat? Ton manto. This is the masculine gender. So we'll be using with lo manto. So we'll be going with here with the possessive adjectives with as ton. And Masur adore Shanti. My sister loves singing. Masur adore Shanti. But talking about as my sister, as is a feminine gender, and anyhow, it's not starting with all, it's a normal word. So I'm just going with the normal that ma. Masur adore Shanti. And the next one, Lur Asha Sontre Bo. Sha is nothing but cat. So their cats are very beautiful. Bo means beautiful. For the masculine type one, we will be using. So here we are using leur. Leur chat sont très beaux. Their cats are very beautiful. This is how we use the possessive adjectives. And possessive adjectives is very simple and very easy to use. Uh, this is about the possessive adjectives. Just a minute. I'll try to find if I can tell about little bit more about I'm sorry. Actually, I was on mute. I was speaking. I'm recollecting you. Uh, okay. So possessive adjectives, as I explained you, this is my father. If you want to say, we use a c'est ma mère et mon père, like that. And my parents are coming. If you want to say, we say it as mes parents viennent. So his grandmother is widow is nothing but son grand-mère est veuve. For example, using the possessive adjectives, our brother is single and sister is married. If you want to say, notre frère est célibataire, notre sœur est mariée. Mariée, we are added another e just because it's a feminine gender. Simple. And for example, if you want to say your uncle is architect, votre oncle est architect. So that's where again we have used the Otru one. And your house is near to Jainagar. If you want to say Otru Mezo Akotedu Jainagar. Again, their friends going to Singapore. Again, Lur Army Oa Singapore. Their cousins are Dutch. Means like their cousins are Americans. If you want to say Lur Cousin Son Hollande. Again, you can change like cousin son. You can add it like United States. Ezetazin we pronounce as exactly as per. Okay. And there is one more exception when the noun is starting with a vowel. We must use the masculine form of adjectives that is nothing but mon ami or mon ami. We don't use ma ami. It is wrong. We always to go with mo only. Mon arja, nothing but my money. It is started with vowel, so we'll be using with mon arja. And as I said, it is as we are doing a proposition topic, so I wanted to tell about the versus en. When do we use the? When do we use en? For example, I want to say I am leaving the metro in 5 minutes. So in that case, I'll be using the. And je prends le métro dans 5 minutes. But en, whenever you use the countries, particularly countries, we'll be using the en. That we pronounce as on. And the prepositions, please add on to the topic. Uh, whoever wants to learn little bit more about the prepositions, and this is very much helpful. They can note it, the people can note it down this, and can be useful in writing, reading, speaking as well. So you can use all these prepositions. So for example, we have among means parmi, at the house of shay, I am at the house of joy. It's simple to say, using this shay, just we shay, I'm at the house of joy. Simple, just we shay joy. Between, entre. For will be pour, with, avec, without sa, by means par, during means pendant, also it has meaning of for, then fi, after means après, before means ava, since, depuis, we pronounce as depuis. For example, depuis 10 ans, je reste ici. Since 10 years, I'm staying here. Depuis 10 ans, j'habite ici. Since like 10 years, I'm living here. So it will be very much helpful and really Brahma. There are few of the very useful words as well as I've given you here the prepositions just for your reference. You can note it down this. I'll just make it like one page. I'll put it into one page and I'll zoom that. If you want, you can note it down. These are very much useful words for the daily use. So that's all about this today's topic, which where we have learned today about the prepositions. Like when do we use a plus lu, when do we use a plus la, and do plus lu, and do plus la, and do ella foster, and aux and they. That is nothing but o and they. So this is about, and we have learned about the possessive adjectives, about like to talk about my book, your book, and their house and your pen. So these kind of things we use it with the according to the gender. We'll be using the possessive adjectives. So and I have given you the add on to this particular regarding some of the prepositions which might be helpful for your daily use. So that's all. Thank you for joining this session.
Thank you. We'll meet again.
Yeah, thank you.